This is the Thompson Cast. I am Mel Thompson. Recently, the International Monetary Fund chief, Christine Lagarde, met with Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi to discuss a $4.8 billion loan to help the Egyptian economy. Obviously, this loan is targeted at trying to create some degree of economic activity for Egypt's young people, for people who were in Tahrir Square, or people who actively took part in the revolution. Morsi cannot possibly avoid the fact that there needs to be some foreign economic stimulus to create opportunities for the people in Egypt who were the catalysts for the uprising that overthrew Mubarak. You cannot now turn around and say, well, thank you very much, and we're through, and go back to doing nothing or to the dead-end jobs that you had. This is a very, very wise move upon the part of the Egyptian government. It shows that they are not trying to close ranks and not engaged, if you're not trying to be engaged with the outside world. They are actively participating in a negotiated process with the International Monetary Fund. If they were not engaged in this process, that would be a very, very large red flag for those who are foreign direct investors. It would show a large degree of political risk that was going to no doubt be long term. That would have been an indicator of a long term governmental problem, internal problem. This is an indicator that there is no long term problem. And when I say that, I'm very cautious by prefacing the term long term political problem by saying this is an indicator of engagement only. It means the doors are not going to be closed. It means that Egypt technically is open for business. The next move will be how the foreign direct investors are treated. Will there be changes to policy that are adverse to foreign direct investors or businesses? How easy will it be for you to enter the markets over there? Will the rules be changed abruptly without any warning, which also is a very, very common political risk in many foreign countries where you aren't aware of what the rules are. One day they're one thing, the other day they're another day they're the next. It seems to me that the participation of Egypt's President Morsi in a negotiation with the IMF is a signal that they're trying to standardize their rules around international norms. They're working with large organizations. They're not bringing up issues of religion and other items that certainly would cloud negotiations. And the fear that Morsi, as a Muslim Brotherhood president, have somewhat dissipated since he's been in charge. But this is a very, very good indicator. This is not Iran. This is not going to be a situation where it's a cleric-driven government that doesn't want to engage with the outside world unless it really has to, but on its terms that, well, maybe we'll tell you one thing, we'll do something completely different. This appears to me to be a signal that Morsi's government is going to engage with large communities such as the IMF. They are willing to negotiate in good faith. They're willing to follow the rules, pay the loan back. They're also willing to perhaps focus and target the loan on areas that they maybe wouldn't have necessarily done so previously. They may engage with other foreign professionals who can advise them properly on the best way to use these funds to improve their economy. It may not be a give me the money syndrome where I now have this cash and I know best and I will do what I think is best. Obviously, you're trying to engage the IMF because you need money because something did not work out during the Mubarak administration, and you obviously do not know best. Morsi basically has walked into a potential economic mess, which he realizes is a huge long-term political risk, mainly because of the demographics of Egypt, where a majority of the young people are either in dead-end jobs or not working at all. This is a proactive approach. There was no other place for Morsi to go to perhaps engage in a conversation about $4.8 billion. And on top of that, it is a loan. This is a true sign that things may not be as bad as people predicted if the Muslim Brotherhood won. I'm not saying that they are perfect. I've got no opinion on politics in general as far as it pertains to foreign direct investment. I try to stay out of that. But the facts are that there was a lot of fear and discussion about Morsi's religious background, Muslim Brotherhood's affiliation with other groups that were more focused on creating a religious society than a economically stable society, and not enough on the individuals who very well may realize that this is a global economy. We cannot be an isolated group of people viewed as not focused on the big picture. Rather, we must be viewed as people who are honest brokers, who can engage, who are worthy of borrowing a lot of money, and also smart enough to listen to advice from the outside and direct that money into places where the economy can grow. We are not going to throw religion in your face. We're not going to use it as a political tool. It is part of our culture, it's part of our society, but when it comes to negotiating $4.8 billion, it has no place in that discussion. This is a very good sign for Egypt. This has been the Thompson Cast. I am Mel Thompson.